Cool.
Hello and welcome to FPL FaF, the Form and Fixtures podcast. Welcome all. I'm joined by James and Jason again. Welcome, boys.
Hello, sir.
Great to be with you both. What an exciting game week it's been. Still one more game to go. I've got Rashford to go, so come on, Man United. Wearing my Arsenal shirt. Okay, so on the agenda today, guys. We're going to run through our the 9 fixtures that we've been through so far with our teams. 3 standout players to each of us, and 3 players to avoid from this game week. The fixtures, the long-term fixtures, short-term and long-term fixtures. And of course, at the end, our golden picks for the week, if money wasn't an issue, as well as personal transfers and captain picks. So, yeah, exciting things to go through. But yeah, on a rundown of our teams, Jason, do you want to kick us off? How's your week looking?
Cool. Yeah, it's been all right. A bit frustrating. I'll get into it. So I finished with 65 points. I've got no one left to play this week.
How much? 60, 69?
65.
60 plus bonus points coming?
There's still coming. So, yeah. So we'll see what happens. But I haven't got anyone else to play. So, it'll only be a few here and there. So it wasn't too bad, but a bit of an issue with one thing. I'll go through it now. But really, Haaland was the one that saved me this week. Last week I wanted to get rid of Salah due to not having any input in 9 goals against Bournemouth, right? And I've done that. So I took him out for Rodrigo, right? Rodrigo gets injured within, 32 minutes or something? It's typical. So it's a complete waste of a transfer. I ended up also bringing in, who did I bring in? Gundogan and Perisic last minute due to defensive injuries. Yeah, I've done it last minute because there's rumours about James not playing. Zinchenko was already injured, and then Trippier is still saying he was injured. So I had no update. So I would have risked having a player just not have any points. So I thought I'd rather take a hit, try and get someone in that may get points. So that happened. But Trippier ended up playing anyway, didn't he? So that was that, really. So it was really Haaland to save me. I think just quickly, I've got here Cancelo, obviously, with a return, which is good. Martinelli as well. And Jesus, they're the only ones that returned today, really. This week, sorry. So, yeah, that was my week. A bit annoying with Rodrigo. Don't know what I'm going to do with him yet. I don't know how long-term that is or if it's short. I guess we'll just see. But that's what I've done.
Nice one.
That actually makes me feel a bit better, to be honest, because I hear you got 65. Like, I was expecting you all to have got like 80, 90. So yeah, for the listeners, I have missed out on Haaland for the last 2 weeks. The Kane switch has killed me yet again. But yeah, I've salvaged, I think when my bench players come on, I'd have salvaged about 57, something like that from the week, which Cancelo's come through for that. Andreas Pereira off the bench for 6. Martinelli, Edison, Kane and Jesus have kind of like helped to scramble together a set of points, which I think was about the same I got at the weekend as well. The captain picks the last 2 games are the main killers for me. I captained Salah against Bournemouth, as a lot of people did, which didn't hurt as much because most people captained Salah, whereas this week, captaining KDB and getting benched. And then I had advice on Cancelo. That would have been double 12. And then KDB comes on. So, yeah, I'm disappointed. But actually, hearing Jay say that you can be a Haaland captainer and still only get a few more than what I've got has made me actually feel a bit better. So that's my summary.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear, Jay, you're on 65 actually, because I thought you were going to like blow me out of the water. But including all of the bonus points, I'm going to be on around 75 points with Rashford to play. So yeah, good things. Haaland, Cancelo, Andreas, Salah, Martinelli, Jesus, like it's quite a lot of players. And then bad things, didn't captain Haaland. Bad things, captain Jesus. Even though I knew I shouldn't, I just was like, do you know what? My heart and my head have got it wrong recently, so I'm just going to stick with Jesus and see what happens. And I wanted to captain Haaland because one, it's Haaland, but two, Nottingham Forest have been conceding goals against strikers specifically. So, but I just didn't have the balls because I thought, yeah, Haaland, if he doesn't play, I can't be that guy who captains Haaland. I didn't realise that the whole game was if I knew the whole game was captaining Haaland, I would have gone for it. But yeah, and then I mean the worst thing was my one free transfer was getting Reece James in. Just I've been without him for the last 4 or 5 game weeks, so just bit the bullet and got him in, and then literally about 2 hours later found out that he wasn't playing. So that was really fun. But I probably got lucky because of the awful performance by Chelsea. Yeah, so moving on to 3 standout players, guys. So yeah, it has been quite. I think it's been crazy 2 game weeks now. Mainly just probably because of Haaland, but also the 9-0 and Salah not scoring. But yeah, I mean, yeah, who's your standout from this game? For your 3 standouts from this game week.
Jay?
So obviously we'll go with Haaland, start off with him, as always. I've also put Mitrovic, obviously again, looking very reliable. And I went with Jesus because he's still playing well, still getting returns. So they were, for me, the 3 standouts.
Yeah, I wanted you to go first because I didn't want to mention Haaland first, but like, yeah, you can't ignore the guy. Yeah, I'm interested to know what's going to happen with him next week, though. Like, surely he's going to get benched in one of these games. It's just a case of which one. So we'll see what happens with that.
I mean, yeah, Haaland, Alvarez getting 2 goals is massive for that as well.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. So yeah, I'll be interested to see. But I mean, even so, like, I'm thinking, man, I'm really playing with fire not having him. So yeah, Haaland is kind of a must-have, I think, at the moment, pretty much. Although, yeah, I'm still probably going to be stubborn. Then Mitrovic, as Jay said, although I'm still not going to jump on Mitrovic just yet because of I think he's got Spurs and then Chelsea or Chelsea.
He's got some hard ones coming up, yeah.
I mean, I can see him scoring in those games. Don't get me wrong; he's scoring against everyone.
That's what I was going to say. Actually,
he bullies all defenses, but I can't see him scoring more than say 1. But then that's probably still worth it, isn't it? But is it guaranteed? I don't know. But yeah, Mitrovic. And then my third one, I put Sterling down just because he scored 3 in the last 2, but Chelsea aren't looking good. So I wouldn't be running to him. And then Zaha, I quickly chucked down as a bonus one. But again, I don't know. I was going to wait until a couple of games, but at the same time, he's looking like Mitrovic. Like, he's scoring against anyone. So they were the ones that came to my mind.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've got a few points on Mitrovic later, but my 3 standouts, Cancelo being number 1. Like, we've just seen people jump off Trent before the Saturday deadline, and then he bloody smashes, what was it, 17-pointer, and then Cancelo, like, I heard before the game week on another podcast, he was like 36th on the list of defenders likely to get an attacking return. 36th, and we're 5 game weeks in, so like mental. But I was like, there's no way. Like, come on, we've seen Cancelo over the last few seasons. Like, there's no way. And he literally did exactly what Trent did. People jumped off him. And I've had a few people message me as well saying that they're going to jump off Cancelo. And yeah, I mean, look at it. They didn't do it. They were looking at it for next week, and I'm sure after this game week, there's no way they're going to do that now. Second one is Anthony Gordon, only 5.5 million, 2 goals in 2 games now, I think it is. And I mean, he's really like. I know Jason is an absolute Everton hater, but like, he literally is their only their only possible like goal outlet right now. It looks like so.
True.
Oh,
For
he is 100%.
5.5 million, I actually don't know what Everton's fixtures look like over the next couple of weeks, but
Pretty rough.
well, yeah. So maybe one to avoid, but someone to take note. And then the other one as well. I actually wrote Adam Armstrong mainly because obviously got his goal, but like I didn't watch a great deal of the Chelsea game, but like for the short amount I was watching it, he was like so aggressive in their box and just looked like he was going to do something. So I guess it's more like something I've taken away from the game week, certainly to take note of him. Then I also did put some other pluses. Like I mean, Mitrovic and Zaha really do just look fixture proof right now. They've had tough fixtures and they've consistently scored. So they're definitely worth thinking about. But yeah, Cancelo, Gordon, and Armstrong were obviously, other than Haaland, the main takeaways. I guess you could chuck in Martinelli there as well. I don't know if you guys, well, definitely chuck in Martinelli there. I was actually considering removing Martinelli just after the last game. Like, I don't think he looked. I feel like just as an Arsenal fan, he looked like last season he had a really great spell and then just went really quiet, and I thought he was going to do it again, but today actually he was electric. And also on the stats last week he created 5 chances, so on the game where I was saying he looked quiet, he was actually creating chances. I just clearly didn't take note of it. I don't know if you guys want to chuck any other names out there.
I agree with all, to be honest. Everyone you said are kind of bringing back returns. And Gordon, I don't like him. I don't like Everton. You are correct. But, he is a good player, to be fair. And, if they're going to score, he's probably going to have something to do with that. So even though, they are playing very defensive and stuff, they're still scoring, aren't they? And he's scoring. It's a cheap option, to be fair.
I mean, that could link nicely into our ones to avoid, because Anthony Gordon was one of my ones to avoid.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
And only because I looked at the fixtures and I went, next week home to Liverpool, and then the week after away to Arsenal. And then he's home to West Ham, which isn't the easiest fixture, as West Ham proved against Spurs tonight. So it's like a short-term avoid. I think he's very much on the radar for me. But I wouldn't want to use a transfer to bring him in for those fixtures. And I'm like, me personally, I'm looking at wild card in game week 8. So I just could quite happily not have him for the next 2 weeks. And then if I wanted to bring him in come the wild card, I could do that. But yeah, can I continue the other ones to avoid?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Go for it.
So Gordon, and then the other two were, I put Heung-min Son just because, like, poor guy is just can't do anything right now.
I mean, that should have been his goal today. If he could get there before the West Ham defender, he would have had that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he'll probably be on the ones to watch soon, but at the moment you just can't risk him. And then I've put Neto / Wolves down just because Wolves are coming into hard fixtures. They can't seem to score to save their life. I've been a painful Neto owner that's stuck faithfully to the guy. I've lost 0.3 on him. He's down to 5.2, looking like he's going to drop again. I thought I'll hold him for the next 2 fixtures. I'm still going to see it through for Southampton, but I was following the game today, and it was like he was having all these chances, and he's had all these chances in previous games, and Wolves are looking lively. He's looking lively, but they just can't score. So, avoid any Wolves players as well, I was going to say. But I'm going to hold
just sign that new striker, didn't they, today?
Did they? What does that mean for Jimenez? But who is he?
I don't know. I know he cost 18 million and he was from Stuttgart. That's literally all I know about him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Find out. Yeah. I'll just continue with that. I've put Son down as well. So much money not returning. It's just not worth the risk right now until he starts, being more consistent. I also put Neto, actually. Very good player. It's just not happening. So, I know he's cheap, but what's the point of having him if you're not getting anything with him? And I've actually put Havertz, as the other one. He's really not looking good, saying that. Chelsea aren't. Sterling, as you said, is starting to get returns, scoring. I think Mount got an assist, but he's been pretty much absent this season.
Yeah.
Havertz has as well, not really doing anything, So they're my three: is Son, Havertz, and I don't know why I keep saying Havertz, and Neto.
Yeah, nice. I mean, would I don't think it's going to happen, but there is big rumours for Neto to Arsenal. So, a 5.2 million midfielder. Well, obviously, he's not going to come straight into the squad, but and you're probably not going to want to hold him for that long, even if it did happen. But 5.2, but I guess for the long term, 5.2 million midfielder into an Arsenal attack does sound quite tasty. But
good shout.
Yeah, anyways, it's a maybes. Yeah. So my three avoids are really, I think. Well, actually, no, only one of them's harsh. Like one Mendy again. I'm just gonna say his name. Like
You
I
hate
didn't
Mendy.
actually see. I didn't see him being at. I didn't see. I don't think I even saw the Southampton goals against him. But I listened to Rory Jennings because he's so funny after Chelsea lose. And yeah, I mean, he just can't stand Mendy and was blaming on him again and saying they've got to start they've got to start Kepa. So yeah, I mean, maybe Mendy could even get dropped. Like, so potentially, definitely avoid Mendy, which I just think is so annoying. Like, Chelsea have got the best fixtures, and yet we've got to avoid their defence right now. Like, it's so annoying. Like, I'd love to have Mendy in goal for me right now. And it's getting to the point where more and more people are wildcarding too. Second avoid, Martinez. Like, he had an absolute shocker against Arsenal tonight. Like, we should have scored so many goals, but we just couldn't put the ball in the net. And thank goodness for Martinez helping us out, because if it wasn't for his two, shockers, then yeah, we might not have scored tonight. And then, as I say, the third one, it definitely is a bit harsh, and he's very highly owned. But I would stay clear of Aaron Ramsdale, to be honest. Like, I just don't trust Arsenal's defence in general. I know a lot of people have jumped on Saliba, which, like, I mean, he's right at the top for the defenders right now, anyway. And we have got good fixtures still, but I just don't trust any team that like attacks us. We just concede to them. So, Ramsdale just looks. He's just the same as he was second half of last season. Just a bit flappy, just a bit. He's just a bit like Jordan Pickford, to be honest. Like, he's very, just in the moment, and he'll jump on stuff. Not that I'm unhappy with him as an Arsenal fan, but just as an FPL goalkeeper, I personally would much rather, even though he's just conceded 6 today, Henderson for Forest. Like, he's clear. He looks. I just think there's much better options than Ramsdale right now, considering he's 5 million. As I say, it's definitely a little bit harsh. I don't know if you guys have got any thoughts on those.
3 goalies.
Yeah, I went for 3 goalies.
That was quite interesting, choosing 3 goalies to avoid. It's fair enough. To be honest, I'm quite happy. I've got Raya and Sanchez. But Sanchez, he actually, was it yesterday? Did you see it, James? He dropped the ball right in front of.
Yeah,
isn't he? But he's a good goalkeeper, to be fair, and Brighton's defence is quite solid a lot of the time. But yeah, it happens, doesn't it? But I'm really satisfied with my keepers, to be honest. Both cheap as well.
I think that's the thing. Raya, Sanchez, and now Henderson. Well, even Henderson without good fixtures has been great for saves, but now he's come into a run of 3 like perfect fixtures. I mean, like you said, John, you may as well just save the money and have guys that are probably going to end up with more points for less money. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, my big point with the 3 goalkeepers is just that it's coming up to more and more people wildcarding, and I just would stay. They're 3, like the 3 of the 5 millions, and they just don't look don't look worth the extra money at all right now.
Yeah, agreed.
But that is a bit harsh on Ramsdale considering he's actually got clean sheets this season. But yeah. Anyway, what are we up to? Yeah, so fixtures, short term and long term. I know we rushed through it a bit last time. Yeah, I mean, James, do you want to kick us off with your thoughts? So I guess just kind of cover it all, summarize your thoughts over with the fixtures on short term and long term.
Yeah. So I think Brentford have still got a few more fixtures left that look nice. I think if you still have a time to get Tony in your team, I think he's worth getting in for the next few games, personally. But then there's other options, like we've said, like Mitro and that. But I just think with the fixtures, I would lean to Tony if you wanted him for a short-term punt. Leeds still have a few more good fixtures, but I'm personally not sprinting near Leeds. I think I'm looking at Notts Forest, not because I think they're going to do brilliantly, but because I think Neco Williams is going to be a lovely 4.1 player for 3 games to replace my injured Zinchenko, who I mean, he may be back soon, but I could do with the money anyway. And Arsenal's fixtures are gradually turning. To Notts Forest, I mean, look, you could have a punt on a Gibbs White or someone like that. Again, I'm really not recommending it, but if you wanted a punt on someone as a differential, they've got lovely fixtures. If they're ever going to get a return, it's now. And then there's a couple of extra ones I wrote down. Southampton have got really nice fixtures coming up now. Ward-Prowse, if you want a reliable go-to man in the midfield, like, he's worth a look. But I'm now looking at Isak after tonight. I've done some maths, and if I bring in, I mean, this links to my transfer plans, but if I bring in Neco Williams for Zinchenko, I can get Greenwood up to Isak, and Newcastle have some nice fixtures. They've got, I think, both short and long term. They're home to Palace, then away to West Ham, who aren't doing brilliantly, then home to Bournemouth, which is obviously a wonderful fixture, then away to Fulham, nice fixture, home to Brentford, nice fixture, away to United, isn't awful, is it? Because United are United at the moment. They're not quite, well, they're not the United we know, and then home to Everton in game week 12. So Isak's probably more one to keep your eye on, but because I've just had a poor game week and I'm knee-jerking, and Isak looked really good, and I want to catch up a bit, and the money works beautifully for me to do those swaps. Yeah, I'm having a little look at him, but probably more of a one to watch for everyone else.
Yeah,
fair. I was just going to say, Isak did look pretty good today, and his finish is a very good finish. So,
and the disallowed one, yeah.
Oh, I missed that because I kept switching between Arsenal and
stuff. It was quality, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise. Yeah.
Skinned Robbo and Gomez alive and then smashed it past Alisson like he did.
He literally took the net off, mate.
In his first game against Liverpool, that's fair play. He's clearly got confidence coming into the season, so fair play. It's definitely a shout. I was going to say, Tony, even quite a lot of Brentford players, they're very organised. They're very well drilled.
Yeah.
So Brentford are looking good. And the thing with Brentford at the moment, they keep going behind, but they keep managing to get something out of the games. I'm still going to say, considering Arsenal have won every game, you can't really go wrong with maybe Jesus, Martinelli, Odegaard obviously looks good. I think Saka's got a couple of assists in the last couple of games now. So he might be coming into, a bit better form because he hasn't really done what a lot of people thought. And again, I think City are just looking ridiculous right now. Can't go wrong with pretty much most of their players, except the issue is Pep Roulette. That's the only issue. I'm happy with Gundogan, Haaland, and Cancelo still. And it's interesting about Southampton. I don't know how I feel about them right now. I feel like 1 week they can be good. Again, they can be hardworking, organised, but another week they can be quite poor. It's a tough one. But if they have got good, on paper fixtures, and Ward-Prowse, if there's free kicks and stuff, it's always worth a shout. But that was really for me, maybe a couple of Brentford players, mainly Tony, Mitrovic, Saha is a good shout. Palace are coming into some, more favourable fixtures now as well.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I can't really think of anyone else, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, James, you kind of covered everything I wrote as well. Like, very much Brentford, Brighton, and Leeds for the very short term still. Even though we've been talking about them for a little while, but they do still have great fixtures on the short term. And Arsenal just continuously seem to having good fixtures as well, even though they got Man United this weekend, but they do. But yeah, for the long term, I've really written Southampton, Newcastle, and Forest. All have great fixtures. Yeah, I'm gonna talk a bit more about this in my team, but yeah, Nico Williams just looks like perfect asset against Bournemouth right now. But yeah, so that's interesting you say about Isak. I personally, like, with only one attacking place to fill, I wouldn't. Yeah, it would be more of a long-term watch or short-term watch for me. I'd be much, even though. Well, yeah, well, I'll cover Mitrovic in a minute, but yeah, I guess really Southampton, Newcastle, and Forest are the teams to start maybe moving to. Also Arsenal, and it's so difficult to say Chelsea, but Chelsea do have the fixtures as well. So and Sterling putting in 3 goals in 2 now makes him just a little bit more, but that's so much money. Like, can you really justify in a poor Chelsea team or in a very unconvincing Chelsea team? So anyway, guys, we've got 4.5 minutes left. Do you we'll rattle through our golden picks and what we're planning on doing for the weekend. So try and take about 45 seconds each. Jay, you go first.
I've put here's golden pick. So if I had unlimited money and I could, I think Kane's a good shout. I'd love to have him in my team
against Fulham.
Yes,
that is music to James's ears.
Fulham are looking good, but is Kane, and he could score against any team on his day. So, I don't have the money to put him in, but it's just if I had that money, I would. And I'm going to shout out to someone.
HAALAND.
Pardon?
You can swap
Hell
out
no,
HAALAND.
no, he's my boy. I love that.
It never pays off.
I'll learn from others' mistakes regarding him. And I am going to shout out Michael Elise. Right.
Yeah, here we go.
First game over the weekend. First half, they kind of subdued him, but they did double up on him like almost every time he got the ball. Second half, he was just unreal. He hit the post from about 20, 25 yards. That guy will create if he plays football. Give him 10 minutes, 15, 20. He's going to create stuff and he will score. I just hope now, after that we start playing him every week, because it winds me up seeing Jordan Ayew starting when in about 8 minutes of football, Elise can do more than Ayew in weeks. I don't care what anyone says about Ayew's work rate. And I will say this as well. Elise's defensive ability is ridiculous. One of the best things against Brentford, I haven't seen him showcase this before. So many ball recoveries, many duels that he won. And I was actually gobsmacked. If he can keep that defensive part of his game up as well, the guy is going to be unreal. He's going to be unreal. I think I went over my time, but so as I said, Kane, I'm just going to throw out Elise. Start getting him in soon. I'm going to get him in very soon.
Yeah.
And just leave him there because he's cheap.
Yeah. Good shouts, Jay. Yeah, I've basically told you my transfer plans already. Greenwood out for Isak and Zinchenko down to Neco Williams.
Oh, that's what you're actually doing.
Well, I'm knee-jerking towards that. Tonight, I'm going to do Neco Williams in for Zinchenko before the price drop, and then I'll give myself a bit of time. I think Greenwood might not go tonight, but yeah. To the viewers, I wouldn't recommend jumping on Isak. I'm just knee-jerking and desperate to make something up. Trippier would be a safer Newcastle option. So they're my potential transfer plans. And then golden pick. I mean, Salah at Everton, I back him in a rivalry. He's going to love rising to a game like that. I think Fulham are playing well, so I'm not convinced about even captaining Kane. But like Jay said, I could see him doing well. And outside of that, Tony v Leeds, Sterling on form, or KDB at Aston Villa. Surely guaranteed to start now. KDB's the other one I'm tempted to captain. So, yeah, that's my short summary. John.
Cool. Yeah, if I had unlimited money in the game this week, I would buy £4.1 million Nico Williams. I just think Bournemouth aren't looking like scoring, and I mean, Forest. Okay, Forest. Yeah, I just think Nico Williams, he's right up there with the best attacking defenders in the game right now. And he's probably going to keep clean sheet. I'm even tempted to captain him this weekend. And
a good shout and fair play.
Just as a bit of a wild one. And 30 seconds left, guys. I've actually pulled my wild card. Mitrovic in. My wild card was I just want Mitrovic in. I can't do it any longer. I think he's fixture proof. We'll talk about this next game week. So Mitrovic in, guys. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching and listening. Yeah, we'll catch you next time. This is FPL FaF. I'm John, James, and Jason. I'll catch you soon. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, guys.
Have a good evening.
See you later.
Cheers.
Bye.